Chevrolet and your Super Chevy dealers proudly present Paradise, Louisiana with Gary Risponi and Don Dubuque. Paradise, Louisiana, powered by Chevrolet, would also like to thank these sponsors.
Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Aerial Access, the leader in aerial work process. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana. Farm Bureau Insurance. Louisiana Fish Fry Products. Demco. Always fresh, never frozen, Raising Cane's. First South Farm Credit. Area Wholesale Tire Company, with tire programs for tire dealers.
Welcome to the Rodeo edition of Paradise, Louisiana. I'm Gary Risponi.
I'm Don Dubuque, and boy, you put a lot of miles on.
Well,
Highway and waterway. Huh?
Oh, yeah, Dad. Thank God for Dirk Gracie and Gary Krause and some of our former partners, Joe Mack. They did a great job in covering the Big Daddy, and they brought us back some great footage. They even got some bluefin. They got some blue marlin footage, and this is crazy. The bad weather and everything, still people caught fish. You know, I think the attendance was down a little bit. You know, the weather sort of scared them away, but it didn't happen Saturday like it was supposed to be. I was in Venice, the Faux, and I'm going to tell you what a great job, what a great job. I'm going to give a little tease, too, because in a week or so, we're going to bring you the Worcester fish, one of the best Worcester fish we ever had. Those captains, what they do, Unit 12 captains donate their time, their gas, and everything, and take them kids. And just like one time we had Larry Avery on there, that big guy, that kid grab his and hold his leg and told him how thank you, and I looked at big rascal's eyes were just tearing up like bad. And then one with Gary Krause was in with the little boy hollering, yes, yes. Those are memories, and we got a bunch of them this year, the same thing, and we show that in a week. Don, we got a special guest too. We got Cliff Crochet coming.
Yep.
And
man's on a roll. He's on a mission this year.
He's on a mission.
Yes,
so where are you going?
Well, where I've been to Lafitte with Captain Theophile Bourgeois. Of course, our trip got blown out. That wicked wind to the west forced the plane down, so we headed up into the northwest corner of the Barataria Basin to try to find some clean water, some lee shoreline, and we did, and caught a nice little mix of fish. Nothing real big, but a nice catch, a mixed bass, and some of those gorgeous bronze and copper redfish.
But you know, you say that Brent sounded hot though, because some of those guys in the wind laid down, and one captain in particular Saturday they had limits by 9 o'clock fishing out there in the island. You know, I know you're looking at all this right now. This is a redfish, you know, and people want to know what this is, and this is a cobia. That's Louis Camanars. He's over there in Araby, and we'll run his number on the screen there. That's 504-491-4854. I want to thank Louis. He gave this, and these were the prizes at the Faux Pas. They gave different sizes, and he said, I have all kind of metal art. So
that's
city art.
Unique prizes. You know, it's real nice to hang in the camp or in your office, and you know, people that win regularly get tired of the trophies and the plaques, and this is something really special, very nice.
Yeah, I got room for this where I live, but my brother got them beautiful camps, and my brother got one at Big Lake and one at Grand Isle. He got two at Grand Isle. I'm gonna have to give my brother Eddie that.
We need to get him to start doing some waterfowl. Does he do any ducks or geese?
Oh,
that would be
yeah.
Nice,
I
huh?
don't know.
Check with him.
I know you and I do waterfowl all the time. I get ready too. So, and another thing we saw, Gary Krause and I were riding. He's licking bass fishing, but we was riding down Octave Pass and all down out south and Baptiste Colette where it was. That grass is luscious. Yeah. They're out 8, 10, 15 feet off the bank. There's grass everywhere. All them captains were waiting. Please, Lord, don't send us no tropical storm. Everything, duck season. And then when that river starts falling, you know, Gary Krause is thinking,
well, that river is falling.
Yeah.
And I don't see any rise in the near future, so should be getting good, and we'll get to that on the fishing report.
You ready to get this out of the way, and we
let's
got
get
lots
it,
to cover.
Let's get going. We'll be right back. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
When you're ready to really enjoy life at a slower pace, become a landowner. First South Farm Credit specializes in financing and refinancing land, but not just for farmers. They offer loans to purchase timberland, hunting and fishing, or recreational property. Their experience in land, timber, and loans set them apart from standard lending institutions. Contact a First South Farm Credit loan officer for more information. First South Farm Credit, a specialized rural land investment lender helping you realize your dream.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
I feel the promise of a new day. It's my time now. To be strong, adventurous, to be loud. I have the promise of the Cross and Shield and the power of more top doctors. I have the card that opens doors in 50 states, giving me the freedom to go, to dream, learn, laugh, dance, to be bold.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And Gary, as I told you at the top of the show, had a great trip planned with Theophile. He's got some crazy thing about going out there and catching sharks on fly rods out there at the islands, flying out there to get them. And we will get that done. May not be doing Shark Week, but ended up doing a backup plan, which wasn't bad. You know, we had that really crazy northwest and west wind that came in with a late July front, and it really kind of confused the fish and the fishermen. Well, the natural thing to do is you head for the lee side, try to find the clean water, try to find some bait down there, and we did. Brought along Captain Kevin, one of Theophile's newest guides, and headed for the northwest corner of the basin. We were armed with all the weapons of war. I talked about bringing everything you got when conditions are like that. We had dead shrimp, which you know Theophile doesn't like to mess with at all. But we brought some, and Captain Kevin was really willing and able to use that. Theophile was throwing the padonkadonk topwater. I started off with a spoon. We went to the spinnerbait. We also had some little crankbaits and some of those deep diving baits. And we caught fish on everything we threw. Redfish, caught a lot of bass. Good mix of fish in some really nice looking water. The bass were not, your big fish. They were regular marsh school bass that you find typically in Lafitte. The redfish, a little on the smaller side, had a lot of throwbacks, but also some very nice keepers and some real colorful fish. And like you talked about, Gary, that place that you were down in Venice and saw that grass. Venice, too, like most of the areas of coastal Louisiana, are loaded with widgeon grass, coontail, eelgrass, a lot of duckweed. Waterfowl looks like it's going to be in good shape as far as the grocery end of it. Wrapped up our trip, caught some nice fish, had a good time, dodged a little bit of bad weather, and ended up with a box of fish.
We don't have a map, but you're talking about the basin, the Barterre Basin, I'm sure. Where exactly are y'all fishing, and where y'all finding this grass? So you're getting further away from the coast?
It's pretty much all throughout it. The area that we were working was the Bayou Wrigley's Bayou P-Roll complex, which a lot of people know that just on the south side of Little Lake. But the problem with it is right now is when you got those conditions with that west wind, what's happening is the water's getting dirty. It's messing things up. The fish are confused. Speckled trout, Theophile will tell you, if you're going to fish trout in Lafitte, you're going to have to catch probably 10 for every one you can keep. There's just a lot of small fish, and it seems to be a pattern that a lot of the places I've fished this year all along the coast, catching plenty of redfish, some good keeper reds, but there's also a lot of undersized, really small reds, which is a good sign for the next couple of years.
Now, wasn't that area hit real hard with the oil spill?
Some of that area, yeah. A little bit further down, Bay Jimmy, a little bit closer to the coast, really took the worst of it. There's still some tar mats and still some residual stuff there, but as far as harming the seafood or any danger, there's no problem.
And it's regenerated. That grass is regeneration.
Grass has come back, and it's looking good. Take you down there now, Captain Theophile, Captain Kevin, and myself, catching bass, catching some redfish, and a surprise fish, too, at the end of our trip, right there in Lafitte on Paradise, Louisiana. All right, we're in one of those places where it's redfish here, bass here, redfish here, bass here. Brackish water fishing.
Yeah, this is more brackish. What we're doing is we just say north of Barataria Bay is the high salinity levels over there. This is what we fish is more brackish because it's coming out the marsh. You can see the water color's like a root beer. So it's, hardly any salinity, but still reds, bass, flounder, all the same little location. And if we're a little further south, we'd catch some trout too. He's green, son.
Green or red? Green.
Red. That would be extra crispy. Little bass by the grass. There you go, boy. Christmas time, red and green on the bayou. Woo! No doubt. Top water, like I said, I wouldn't recommend it for a group of, say, 4 people, to be throwing top water. I'd rather catch 1 fish on top water than 25 on the tight line. It just coaxing that fish to come up and hit that top water. This is a bone badonkadonk by Bomber. It's a very productive bait, very lethal both ways. In the fish's mouth and coming in the boat. So if you ever hold a snake about 6 inches from the back of his head, this is the same idea. It will get you. So be careful, use pliers, get him in the net, use a rubber coated net. The thing is just fun fishing, but be careful.
I think he's red.
Yeah, he's green, boy.
He's green?
He's too small.
Green means go.
Oh, shoot. There you go. Little bass arena. Yep. All right, put the brake. Dang, keep watching. Whoop,
14 inch.
Another one coming in, boy. Whoa, BASS, baby. Bass, boy. The word, tell us the word.
The word is you get a tough day, west wind, you take whatever you can get, and to get it, you bring all the weapons of war.
There's a variety pack down, that's the thing, man. We started a little top water, has a little spoon, Plan S, don't really like that in my hands, but it's there. A little Bomber mud minnow with a number 4 spinner blades. I mean, there's no doubt a different, you're trying to match the hatch, be unique, be different. The reason we caught a lot of bass today mixed with our redfish, because what happened was this is the first good, strong, say, northwest wind, a lot of new water come out that marsh. So, I mean, typically we wasn't looking for bass, but we'll take them. It's lanyard fish. There you go, Kevin got some. He's using the Plan S, sponsored by White Shrimp. A little brownie, I don't know what he got. But he's been catching a lot using shrimp in a cork, just shrimp and hook, just tight lining. And if you bring in kids, no doubt that's great, a lot of action. You stay there, I guarantee you, Kevin probably catch 50 to 75 redfish today. Just steady banging, a lot of little fish, a lot of action, but it's fun. We did catch better fish when we went to just a spinner blade, use that little mud minnow, and we did okay on top water, caught bass, caught redfish. But the thing is, we got a lot of water moving out of here, but what's going to happen in a couple of days, by the time the weekend comes, things are going to change, go back to south-southeast winds, all it was and go in. So that scenario won't work for the weekend. So we got lucky, we got root beer water coming out that marsh. We were productive.
Hold up here, boy.
Woo, swing him in, Dad.
Oh, yeah. Now what is he doing back here? A flounder in fresh water.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at Olin's, where you always get the guaranteed low price. Olin's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
BluefinEyewear.com, most comfortable polarized glasses around. BluefinEyewear.com comes with a lifetime guarantee. Join the Bluefin revolution now at BluefinEyewear.com.
It's time to register for the 2013 CCA Louisiana Star Fishing Tournament. 101 days of fishing and over $500,000 in prizes are up for grabs in over 25 divisions. The Star has something for everyone with offshore, inshore, kayak, fly fishing, ladies only, and youth divisions. And kids fish for free, courtesy of Academy Sports and Outdoors. And those 50 tag redfish are waiting to be caught. 35 weigh stations, 101 days to fish, all for $25 with a CCA membership. For more information, visit CCA.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Come to the family-owned and operated Cassius Casino in Port Allen today, where the Vegas-style video poker machines are ready for your entertainment. Cash's Casino is the finest, cleanest, classiest casino around. And Cash's 50 Style Diner is now serving seafood daily, along with your favorite home-cooked specials 24/7. Hey, Cash's is fun. Cash's is exciting. So come to the unsinkable Cash's Casino in Port Allen. Over the river 2 miles west of exit 151.
And welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And Gary, one of the state's 2 biggest rodeos was held last weekend, the Grand Isle International Tarpon Rodeo. Despite being a little down on the attendance, there were some real highlights.
Well, it was, I don't know if it was the weather, with just the way everything is now, right now, everybody jamming into one. But it still drew, you know, somebody told me there was 20-something thousand people on the island. It was good. They had a little down thing before as celebration, but they did do special recognition of Paul Candies. They named a street after him, and they had all the signs over there at the Civic Center with his picture on it, and condolences and also congratulations to the people down in Grand Isle. The highlights, we're going to talk about number one, I guess Don Wesley Crochet had potential state record, 175 pound, 3-ounce stingray. Now, also we had a 13-year-old John David Abel. We got an interview with him. He had a 32-pound, 8-ounce bull dolphin, and I'm gonna let you talk about that because they had a blue blue marlin again. Here we go again. Between bluefins and blue marlins, they're killing me. blue marlin was caught by Ben Bernard, and that was a great big one. That causes a lot of excitement everywhere you go. You know, when you bring in a billfish and people come to see all them big fish inside the bins, but when they toss them things up or when they pull them off of them boats or when they got them flags, even tag and release, everybody's waiting for them boats to come in. That's what makes the Grand Isle Rodeo so good. He had a 13-hour battle.
Ooh, on the Who-Dat, caught a 712-pound blue marlin. Now, the thing that's changed about these crowds, you mentioned the people following them to the scale and the scuttlebutt gets going. Well, you got cell phones now and satellite phones from offshore. So these people are texting, they're calling in, they're telling somebody what they've got, and we're on our way in. And it doesn't take long for that word to spread all across the island, and all the photographers and the videographers and the spectators start gathering around, and a fish like that certainly makes a huge, pardon the pun, splash. Now, we also had a new Grand Isle Rodeo record set too for the grouper. There were a number of grouper caught every day, some really nice ones, but Kevin Hatcher out of Donaldsonville, 115 pounds, 1 ounce. That is a huge Warsaw grouper.
You know, last year, I remember, been there a year before last, they broke the grouper record every day. They kept climbing it up. They started at 70 pounds, then they kept on 90-something, so anyhow, they keep going. That's 115 pounds. Congratulations to Kevin Hatcher. Gary Krause was down there, he always helping us, and he's doing most of the work for the Advocate and right now, and if you go on the website, to the Advocate's website, you see all of Joe's articles, and you see all Gary's video work that he did for them. He also helped Dirk Grazier, and Dirk Grazier's been with us a long time. In fact, he's out chasing hurricanes right now, but Dirk works a lot of contract work for us, and one of our better editors, one been there a long time, and I want to thank you, Dirk. Who did he say he wanted to give credit to?
If you ever see Jedi Master, that's who you're talking about, Dirk Grazier.
That's who he's talking about. So let's go to the Grand Isle Rodeo, his sights and scenes. 92nd Annual Grand Isle Rodeo.
50, what, it was about 120 miles, I guess we went. And it was a little rougher than we expected. I guess it was 2, 3, maybe a little bit bigger seas, rough sleeping. But it did calm down today. We had a lot of luck in the rough seas. What we caught first?
Caught.
I'm thinking, how long did it take for the first dolphin?
10 minutes.
I think we found a rip and we caught 2 dolphins back to back within 15 minutes. We went to some rigs further out, and I guess just the tuna were like crazy everywhere. Lots of yellowfin, lots of blackfin. It was a fun, rough trip the first night.
You got it caught. That's a big one, huh? You like that one?
I got a redfish, sheephead, and a speckled trout. And a croaker. Sometimes I go at the beach, and sometimes I go in the boat, and sometimes I go off the dock.
Off the dock? What's your favorite?
Boat.
Fishing all day, seen a bunch, and I guess we saw them rolling everywhere, and we couldn't get one to bite. And then finally, about an hour ago, jumped in the back of the boat and brought them in. It only took 15 minutes. Yeah.
The leader!
Take him out. He went 105 on the chart.
You measure that chart?
Woo! In the book!
I'm Thomas Rogers on the Three Cool Dudes. This is my son Ryan. This is Cody Baum and his son Nick Baum. We hooked up with the Blue Marlin about 9:30, and we thought he'd taken out about almost 800 pounds of 800 yards of line on 80-pound test. And we thought we had lost the fish, and bringing him to the boat, we realized that he was just lying in the water and swimming, and then he started getting some life back in him when I was backing down on him, and we realized, and then we got a good tag in him, and we got some great video of it. And Nicholas was the angler here, and he did a real good job. It's his first marlin. He also caught what he's been trying to catch for a long time is some big bulls. We caught 3 big bull dolphin, a wahoo, and a tuna.
Well, it's just still kind of, I guess, breathtaking, kind of surreal, I guess. It was amazing to bring this fish in with the crew and the crowd of people excited to see the fish. Hoping it would have been a record fish for the Tarpon Rodeo, but it wasn't, but it was still a great fish. We're very happy. The crew did a fantastic job. I'm an angler, but they obviously did a fantastic job landing the fish. 13-hour flight. Just a remarkable trip.
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech waxing and buffing, interior cleaning, and tire shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
You watching Paradise, Louisiana.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and you just saw the highlights of the Grand Isle International Tarpon Rodeo. Well, as the crow flies, I'm told it's a pretty short distance over to Venice Marina, where the 15th annual Faux Rodeo went on in Venice, but it's quite a drive over there. You made the drive over there. How'd the rodeo go?
It went great. And I'm going to tell you what, they were worried about the weather also, you know, because Thursday morning woke up, there was the rain. Some of the people stayed in and waited and got it out. Some of them went out a little bit early, got wet, a couple showers. Everybody went out and caught fish. So, and that's the main thing right now. When you want to have a rodeo, you want to catch fish, and that's the way they did it. The rest of the weekend, everybody survived. The rain did not come till everybody was leaving. The wind was blowing like crazy Sunday morning when everybody was leaving. Cleo Blue and the family do great. The Faux Lodge is just a bunch of guys that started this years ago because they didn't want to drive that 4-hour drive to go to the weigh-in.
They eliminated the weigh scale in Venice. And,
that's right. Well, it was at Port East, too. Right. And a lot of people fish down there offshore. So that's the story, and it's a well-known story. But the Venice Marina, you know, I'm going to give a shout-out to the Venice Marina. They do it, and Cleo and his whole family, they gave a shout-out to Venice Marina. You know, they sponsor, not only they got all them boats there, and they get more and more rooms and more lodges, but their food is getting to be outstanding. And you know, you're looking at me and laughing, but they fed everybody there Thursday night with their shrimp and crab ball. And I mean, everybody was, people eating up until 9:30, 10 o'clock. And they just kept them coming. And it was unbelievable. And by the way, they were delicious too, because I got to eat them. Right as soon as the weigh-in was over, I went and got me a couple plates, got me a little corner and ate them. So the highlights of this thing right now, I'm going to tell you, is Captain Chris Babbitt. He's out of the Venice Fishing Lodge. He's also got his own charter service. Chris and them, they just wiped the board clean. They had big trout. They had the trout, redfish, flounder, Calcutta. They knocked Dudley and them out, you know. Him and Ed Sexton go down there. Ed Sexton and them guys bought some monster trout, too, but they just couldn't get that big one. You know, they had a bunch of 5-pound trout. I think they weighed in 25 pounds of trout. The other ones weighed in 28 pounds. They had another group of guys that stayed on from Thursday all the way to Sunday to the final weigh-in before they got knocked down almost all the way to third, for as the 5-fish stringer. So it's just to watch these fish come in. But tuna, every time we look around, there were people putting tuna on the scales and also putting them on the board taking pictures. Some people that were just fishing in tournament wanted to take that beautiful picture of all them tuna. I seen bags and bags of tuna leaving, you know, already. And I didn't have my icebox. I didn't want to go. I wish I'd had one of them new igloos. I would have got it.
Well, let me ask you this. The main difference between the Grand Isle Tarpon Rodeo and the Faux Pas is in the awarding of the prizes. I mean, they got some very nice prizes. You get bragging rights, you get plaques, you get honored really nicely at the Grand Isle Tarpon Rodeo. But the difference is the money. The Calcuttas are at the Faux Pas. A lot of money.
I don't want IRS to take them. But I did interviews with these guys. Hunter Cavalier also had a 166-pound tuna. I talked to some of the guys around there. But it wasn't a surprise because they've been hot. Stephen Nick, Captain Chris Roberts, and his buddy, whatever his first name, I can't think of it right now, his Sance's buddy, they sort of wiped the redfish clear. They went all the way to Delacroix. We got an interview with them. Let's go see sights and scenes. I'm getting too far ahead of myself, but it was an exciting time, a great time. Venice Marina, again, one more time, thank you for what y'all do.
How you doing?
Sadie, Slidell, Louisiana.
Nick Sense in Lafitte.
Tony Bruce from Zachary.
Stephen Nick.
Stephen, where y'all from?
We from Slidell.
They all picture them. So they want that fish as long as possible. So you can't pick it.
Oh, yeah. $6.90.
Lee Pierce from Algiers. Jason Kindler from Gretna.
Hey, get that one over here. Him, yeah. That's it.
Billy Thayer from Mandeville, Louisiana.
Billy Thayer, I just talked to another.
Todd Baker from Houston, Texas.
Barely.
Oh, we're in the weeds right now.
7.92.
John Kaufman, Katy, Texas. Cody Felt, Cypress, Texas. Okay.
The whole girl.
Captain Hunter Caballero with Paradise Outfitters. Welcome to Venice Marina, tuna capital of the world. We covered about 250 miles. Nothing much happening. We had a bunch of small tuna all day, all night, and we ran 80 miles from where we were and caught him within 5 minutes. So that's fishing.
Watch yourself, Mr. Gary.
Everybody hang on to the tent now. Make sure it doesn't...
Ain't no ice in there, don't worry. That's just a big fish. It's just a big fish.
Nah, that's all right. Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the bait of choice today?
We actually fished with live shrimp, believe it or not. Okay, I'm going to tell the story. I'm going to tell the truth. Dudley is throwing croakers. Sexton is throwing Dudleys, and I catch the biggest trout on a Dudley.
What color?
Blue moon.
Good as fast.
It all started on Thursday when we caught the 3-pound flounder, and that gave us a good start. I mean, the flounder's always really the ticket item to win the Grand Slam, and so the first day we caught that 3-pound flounder. We knew we could get an 8-pound redfish to go along with it, so we went and targeted the redfish. Targeted the speckled trout, and this one happened to come along and made the day for us.
We were fishing in Delacroix.
What area in Delacroix?
Around Oak River. There was no water. So we had to jig deep, no water anywhere. Water fell out, we had to use backup boats. It was tough.
We sight fished for the last couple of days. We've seen the water falling out. And, we just fished hard, And we said, we came in yesterday, we saw 826 on the board. And then we said, you know what? We woke up the next morning, we said, we got to fish hard. We got to fish hard. We went the next day, and we caught that 843, And it was, we went to a pond, we seen him, we caught the fish, and we was like, hey, it's time to go.
It was an amazing experience. We have to thank Tito's Handmade Vodka for giving us the funds to do this. It was just an amazing journey. Standard mapping, couldn't have done it. Stevie and I had to run back from Delacroix yesterday just to weigh one fish that brought us in. And it was, thanks to Stevie, he talked us into it. Said, hey, we're going to need every 100th of an ounce. And that standard mapping e-card got us here and back. No problem.
Never been to Venice Marina. We put the chip in. He's like, I'm telling you, it showed the slips, everything. Never been here. Yes. Beautiful place. Awesome event.
You watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Louisiana's premier redfish tournament, the Louisiana Saltwater Series, has 6 statewide catch, release, and tag events to qualify for the championship in Venice. Entry fee is $200 for a 2-man team. There's also a special youth division. To register and for complete details, visit lasaltwaterseries.com. That's lasaltwaterseries.com. Presented by Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, Shimano, and Power Pro.
I'm
Sheriff Sid Cotro from East Baton Rouge Parish. This is my good friend, Sheriff Lonnie Greco from down here in Plaquemine Parish, and you're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Aerial Access Equipment has been serving Louisiana, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and southeast Texas since 1998. Our trained sales staff has the expertise necessary to ensure our customers get the right piece of equipment for the job at competitive rental rates. Need help with choosing the right machine for the job? We'll come to your job site and recommend the right machine to meet your needs. Remember, quality, reliability, safety. Aerial Access Equipment, your aerial work platform and forklift specialist.
Oh, that's the way I like it. Nothing's better than boiled seafood, spiced just right. Oh, yeah. And Louisiana Fish Fry Products makes it easy to boil right every time. Can't get enough. Grab a bag. There's nothing to mix. Just pour and boil. Oh, now you're cooking. Crawfish, crab, or shrimp. With Louisiana Fish Fry Products, you got boiling down easy. Oh, that's the way I like it.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and joining us today is one of the hot professional bass fishermen, Cliff Crochet. Cliff, glad to have you with us here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Cliff, I got some questions before we get started. You know, you was here watching us. We did an opening. This is, in your opinion, in my opinion, that's a lemon fish. Okay, that's a cobia.
In my opinion, this is a shoe pick.
Where you fin?
With some horns. I'm not quite sure what the horns is, but this is a big old shoe pick. I mean, I've seen some big shoe pick. This is a pretty big
some kind of disease or affliction, though.
Now, you're going to hurt Louis Commonare's feelings, you know, but he spends a lot of work on these. But tell me now, you said they got so many names for a shoe pick, and you named a bunch of them, and I know a bunch of them. You named them from Opelousas, was a mudfish.
Some of them you can't say on the air. So
yeah, some of them you can't say, but down by the house, it's a shoe pick. You get on the East Coast, it's a dogfish or a grinner. You get up north, it's a dogfish or a bullfin. I mean, a shoe pick, it's amazing. The name of a shoe pick changes.
Prehistoric fish.
I know the ditches off of Airline, they call them cypress trout.
Cypress trout, green bass.
Cypress trout, okay. There's a bunch of names. I wouldn't know it. So, but this is a lemon fish. Okay, both. I'm going to get it out of the way so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, so I don't want to get in your way. I'll come get this so we get out. We'll leave the redfish. These are all by Louis.
I think it's a shoe pick, but we playing in your area today.
It does look a little bit like a shoe pick. That's a big shoe pick, too.
That's a gros poisson. That's a gros shoe pick.
You say that in French.
Well, Cliff, you've been having a hot season, man. Tell us how it's been for you so far this year.
It's been good. Things. It seems like it's real good on paper, like it's real easy. But I've had some ups and downs on the water, but everything has worked out. When I needed one more keeper, it was a 4-pounder, not a 2-pounder. And things have just worked out perfect, just the way you want them to.
So where are you sitting right now in the standings?
After 6 tournaments, I'm in 6th place. Not a guaranteed lock for the Classic, but pretty sure bet for the Classic. Still have a chance mathematically for Angler of the Year, but man, I need a lot of help. I mean, things would have to go perfect. But I do have a real good chance to qualify for All-Star Week in September. So first deal is to get into the Classic, and with a chance to go to All-Star Week, things are looking good.
Very good. You got a big trip.
You're getting ready to make a trip right now. You're getting ready to go way up north now. Where you going to New York?
Going to Waddington, New York, fish St. Lawrence River. That'll be for the 7th event of the season. And then on to Lake St. Clair for the 8th and final event of the season. But yeah, that about 25 hours. Canadian border. We fished from the Mexican border this year all the way up to the Canadian border. So I'm excited about it. Should be a smallmouth tournament. The final 2 should be one on smallmouth. It'll be something different, but it'll be a fun deal.
Yeah, you know you've been known for fishing a frog. You know, I've seen you give a lot of clinics on frog. People call you one of the best frog fishermen around it. But when you're going up there, I know all y'all scout and you get words from people over there. You said smallmouth, but what do y'all be fishing up there at St. Lawrence?
There is from what I understand and research I've done, there's a lot of good largemouth water, a lot of grass, a lot of reeds, a little backwater pockets. And largemouth may play into having a decent tournament, but it'll be one fishing smallmouth on deep current breaks, deep weed lines, deep rock piles, dragging a drop shot or a tube. That'll be the two main deals. From
a few weeks ago, they had the highest temperatures they had in a while in the rain. What's the long range forecast now? You leaving this week? You going there? What's the long range forecast for up there right now? Because I'm sure a cool snap gonna make a difference too.
Yeah, I hadn't looked at it yet. I still got a couple of days before I leave, so right before I leave, I'll check it out. I don't want to get too far ahead of the game.
Cliff, when would it be the earliest that you could clinch a spot in the Classic? When will you know for sure at the earliest?
On the St. Lawrence River, that event runs August 8th through 11th, and with a couple more points that could lock it up. There won't be an official list put out until after St. Clair.
But it'll pretty much be done.
Yeah, it'll be done. Hopefully it'll be done.
Cliff, the highlight, I guess, of the year, you say it was that monster stringer. You came in, what, 38 something pounds?
35.3.
35.3. Give you 50. Tell us about that. Once before we asked you in the boat, but tell us about that. Had it got to be tremendous.
Yeah,
to be in a tournament and catch that many big fish.
That was, man, that was something I've been waiting for forever. To cause a ruckus, that's the only way to describe it, is to cause a ruckus at a major tournament. That's everything I've dreamed of, but it started out not the greatest day. I had a 7-pounder, missed my bait, hooked a 5, it came off. Then I caught a 10. That was my first 10-pounder ever in a tournament. Caught a 10, caught a couple 8s. And it just, as much as you try to make it happen,
you always want one big kicker, and you don't have 3 of them.
Right. But it, you try to make things happen, and you can't. But man, it just happened. I couldn't stop it. Things went my way.
They all come on the same bait. What bait were you fishing?
Yeah, I was flipping a honey bunny K2 cross. It's a big size plastic, half-ounce range tungsten with a big old heavy wire Gamakatsu hook, 80-pound braid, anywhere from 4 to 8 foot of water just dropping in them trees, and it was physical, slow and steady and physical, just the way I like to fish.
Well, I would like to do that one time. Let's catch my first 10-pound fish. That's the first 10-pound fish you ever caught in a tournament, or the first 10 pounds?
That's my first 10 ever.
Yeah,
my first 10.
Came at the right time.
You know, Cliff, I want to thank you for taking time out right now. You packing. I see you got your boat. You running. For spending time out, coming here and sharing that with us. But let me congratulate you too. I hear you finally making it big time. You got a rod. Huh?
Yeah.
And one of the rod manufacturers named a rod after you.
Yeah, Falcon Rods introduced a new buku, new rod in their buku line of rods.
Buku.
Buku.
That's French for what? A whole lot.
Plenty, a lot.
That's plenty, yeah.
But they come out with a new rod. It's called the Cajun Baby. It's a number 7, 6'10", and the way we came up with it, we was looking for a good all-around rod to fit in a South Louisiana type setting. So we got, a number 7, 6'10", be a good frogging rod, horny toads, chatterbaits. Another deal would be perfect for us throwing beetle spins down in the marsh for redfish. So we just wanted a good all-around rod that we could do everything with. If I had one rod to use around the house, this would be it.
All right, well congratulations on a great season so far. Hopefully you can make it to the Classic. You got a lot of people in Louisiana pulling for you, and I got a couple of tips for you. Number 1, stay away from them shoe pick, and don't let them people in New York say you talk funny either when you get up there.
Yeah, I got stay away from the black clouds, huh? Stay away from that. I'm just bringing luck.
He's on a roll.
Anytime you're in the top 10 of anything, whether football, basketball, you're in the top 10 not only in the country but in the world. So congratulations. Thank you one more time.
Thank you. Best of luck to you, Cliff. We'll be keeping our eye on him here, right here on Paradise, Louisiana.
Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood. Because we're based in Louisiana, with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Come to the family-owned and operated Cassius Casino in Port Allen today, where the Vegas-style video poker machines are ready for your entertainment. Cassius Casino is the finest, cleanest, classiest casino around. And Cassius 50-style diner is now serving seafood daily, along with your favorite home-cooked specials 24/7. Hey, Cassius is fun. Cassius is exciting. So come to the unsinkable Cassius Casino in Port Allen. Over the river 2 miles west of exit 151.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Of all the tools in your house, this could easily be the most dangerous, but it doesn't have to be. At Dimco, we can't stress this enough. Just keep it, and you, far away from power lines.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And Gary, we want to thank Grant Thomas, who responded to our question of the month about whether we should allow the feds to continue to manage the red snapper resources. He says take them away from the feds, give it to the state. Also, he commented on duck seasons. He would like to see the duck seasons later, which was the survey that was taken.
He
by the
also
Department
said
of Wildlife
longer
Fisheries.
and later.
Well, longer, you can't do anything about
Right.
longer. You only got as many days as the feds give you, but you do have some options as to when to set it. And he, like most of the people who responded, are looking for later dates. We'll know what those dates are on next week's show, because at this week's Wildlife and Fisheries Commission meeting, the duck seasons will be set.
And that's Thursday. That'd be in Grand Isle, too.
It'll be in Grand Isle if you want to make it, if you're watching this on Wednesday. What else we got news-wise?
Well, I had a couple of requests or emails. People were wondering what was wrong with Lake Barrette, especially Sac-a-lait and bass. You know, so I sent a request in to Bo Ballinger and Mike Woods, and they answered me. And you see where he told you right there. He says, I'm gonna read it to you because I don't know. But he says, Gary, he said, our personnel sample Barrette with electrofishing every spring and every fall. Gary, I reviewed the results. I can see that electrofishing catch rate is slower than for the period from 2009 to 2011. But we're actually back to normal now because there were so unusually high numbers of small bass during that period. I don't see any reason for concern.
Good
so
news.
I tell y'all guys that, and thank you, Mike. Also, we got, you know, we've been talking about the missing buoys in Independence Island Reef.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people want to know somebody moved them things, and that's a bad problem. You know, because not only did it locate it for fishermen, it could be some other things happening right there being around that reef. It's a long ways off, but Green Wing Day, a lot of times in the Zachary area, the Green Wing Day has been pushed back a little bit more later in August 24th, and it's changed the location. It's going to be at the Georgia Pacific Pavilion in Pleasant Port Hickory Road. Big deal going on, 63rd Annual Tarpon Sportsman League. Rodeo is out over there right now with Friday through Sunday, and I've never seen anything have that many divisions. They got freshwater, offshore, shoreline, fly fishing, tag and release, blue water, scuba.
And they fill all the categories. We talked about Grand Isle and Faux being two major rodeos. This is another one.
Yeah.
Terrebonne Sportsman's League Rodeo, very well participated in.
And we got some numbers on the screen. And get in touch with Larry Jordan or Troy Bonvillian. And don't forget our kids, the Shoe Pick Rodeo for the children at St. James Boat Club.
If you want some shoe pick tips, check with Cliff Crochet. I think he's caught a few.
He's about that tip. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, we'll be back with the Abu Garcia Fishing Report right after this on Paradise, Louisiana.
Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood. Because we're based in Louisiana, with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
These engines run for thousands of hours to prove. To prove it, we did did. With 20% more cleaning agents than before, Shell nitrogen-enriched gasoline.
The gasoline protects your engine better!
Awkward. Try Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines.
No other gasoline protects your engine better.
Visit Cracker Barrel convenience stores before heading fishing or hunting. We have more than you expect.
Welcome to the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report. And Gary, let's start off with freshwater, because with that Mississippi River dropping, there's going to be a lot of hot spots.
We're getting words already that's dropping. Now, I heard from our reliable source, Gary Krause, that the Beulah Rose is going to be at 7 foot Friday. So that means that all the ponds and the canals are going to be down in there. Fish won't be in the woods. You can see them. You know, it got real hot, and then it had a slight rise, because I know them boys out in the middle of the spillway. I'm talking about Pigeon and the old river in the spillway. They were catching saccalay, and then all of a sudden they slowed them down. They were going and catching 5 and 6 and 7 of them when they were catching 70 and 80. So I think them 70, 80 days will be back on. All y'all saccalay fishermen have been waiting. Go to the Chapala Spillway. You know, you heard that report from Lake Verret, too. Since I'm in that area, I want to tell you right now, Lake Verret is still hot on these catfish. People are using night crawlers, and I've even had people catch them on crickets right now. They're getting about 18 inches on the cork. They're fishing on them trees. They're catching them on the Michelle side. By the way, if you're fishing on the Michelle Canal side, that's where the brim have been. They're up tight right now in these little trees and stumps, and this water is getting hot. You know, you find a little bit deeper water and you're catching those brim. Lake Verret is not a deep place, so you find the deepest place you can in Lake Verret and you catch fish. Pearl River. Yeah. I'm going to let you talk about Pearl River.
My buddy Jeff Brule says it is on right now. It's on fire. It's dropping, clearing. Just like the Mississippi River drops, the Pearl River drops, and you start catching a lot of fish coming out of those woods. You can catch them down in the marsh. You can catch them on the upper end. Some good action there. Also, some of those little sloughs that come off of the Pearl, excellent place to catch panfish if you're looking for brim and some saccalay up there.
Yeah, I don't know about Tefunkte, but, you know, we was catching fish over there similar to that, a lot of these rivers. If you get all these thunder showers going right now, you like to float or drift or wade these rivers like the Amite River and some of these upper Tickfall in them, right now you can catch all the Kentucky bass you want. You fish a white spinnerbait. You can also fish a worm, a little small worm or a crawdad. And you can fish the buzz baits, what the people I know I fish with like to fish. They'll wade these creeks, Hurricane Creek, Beaver Creek, and they'll throw them baits. Up there in the bayous, going to start falling right now. The river going down. Thompson Creek is another place that you can go catch fish. That's something unique right now. Red River, still hot. Now the oxbows or Red Rivers also start falling. You catch them at the not going back in the oxbows or in the pool stages, but you can catch them in the river itself. Cane River is another place that they're catching fish. A plum-colored worm has been the hottest thing right now on Cane River. Toledo Bend, schooling fish, Lake or Raven. I got a Chad Wiley and them were catching fish the other day, again the same thing. They're catching schooling bass. They're catching the smaller bass on the schooling bass, and they're also catching white bass. You know, they're throwing crankbaits. They throw in little George type baits with the spinner on top of it. Rattle traps, they catch them schooling fish. When you want them monsters, go find that grass, get down in that deep water, 15 foot of water, and throw them big heavy jigs.
Only thing I can add to that, you saw the bass Theophile and I caught in Lafitte. Good mixed catches down there. Bring the spinner blades, bring the top water baits, and you can catch some nice marsh bass, as you can do also in Delacroix. All those areas, we're getting to that time of the year where the mixed catches are coming in. As far as saltwater, you saw a lot of reports.
Wait, I got to stop you right now because I got one more freshwater report. We heard about Old River and the effect in the river. We were talking about oxbows falling. They also, even when they're enclosed by this water, like False River, for some reason, when the water starts falling, they ain't infected by the river falling. For some reason, fish turn on in False River, Lake Bruin, Lake St. John, and them areas. Boar pits. Boar pits right now will be hot as firecrackers. But the only trouble with boar pits is you make sure you don't trespass. I'm sorry, Don, now we can go to saltwater.
Well, you saw a lot of the saltwater reports from our rodeo coverage. Tarpon were a little bit scarce. Blue marlin fishing, if you get yourself a guide, good chances if you've never caught a billfish chances are pretty good you can catch one now. Mixed catches on the mangrove snappers, the lemon fish offshore. We've got a red snapper fall season, but that's a ways off before you can do that. Speckled trout, we've had a little bit of a lull, and that's not unusual for this time of the year. Black Bay, probably the hottest spot still. Weather conditions are going to dictate whether you'll find fish over there or not. If you're staying inside, if you catch any trout at all, it's going to be small, but redfish are very plentiful just about any place you go. Bring the spinner blades. If you want to make sure it's a slam dunk, bring some dead shrimp on the jig head.
Well, while I was at Venice, I'm going to tell you, when I was wondering, I said, well, it's supposed to be closed as red snapper. They were bringing red snapper in, just weighing them, and they would tell you wildlife fishers were taking, checking, they were catching 3 fish limit. They were fishing in state waters. Yeah. That's one thing about the river. Being down in Venice, them close-in rigs right now, snapper everywhere. Not only are they catching mangrove, they're catching red snapper and beautiful red snapper right now. So, and then that's in state waters, so you don't have to worry about it. You know, you ain't gonna get checked. You ain't gonna be in federal waters. You ain't gonna have no trouble. So if you want to catch some snapper, and you go down to Venice. Another thing I noticed at Venice right now is that some people is feast or famine, looking for trout. Some people found trout by accident when catching trout, but when that water filters, and I'm talking about Custom House Bay and a couple of those bays in Rodeo Bay and down on the east side. But the ones that ran to Brenton Island and the wind wasn't bad, when they had that window of calm weather, catching beautiful trout and early. The secret is to get out there early before it gets hot, catch your speckled trout, come back in to catch your redfish.
And while we're still a couple of 3 weeks away from the peak of it, those big bull reds are going to be moving in all the passes, Caminada, Cooper Bell, Aldenier, even over there by the mouth of the river off of Venice. If you want some bull reds, we're getting very close to the time for the bull reds. Cut mullet will do it, or you can use the whole crabs.
Tuna too.
Yep.
Catch the weather right. Tuna out there. Just keep praying to keep them storms away from us.
That's what we need. All right, we'll see you back here again next week on Paradise, Louisiana.
Chevrolet and your Super Chevy dealers proudly present Paradise, Louisiana with Gary Risponi and Don Dubuque. Paradise, Louisiana, powered by Chevrolet, would also like to thank these sponsors.
Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Aerial Access, the leader in aerial work process. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana. Farm Bureau Insurance. Louisiana Fish Fry Products. Demco. Always fresh, never frozen, Raising Cane's. First South Farm Credit. Area Wholesale Tire Company. With tire programs for tire dealers.